welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea and today we are crafting some mini Christmas trees. This DIY is a felt loop mini Christmas tree. To make the Christmas tree, I'm using an old cardboard box and I'm cutting off all the tabs on the side. Then I'm cutting this box in half and I'll be making 2 trees out of it. I'm rolling this section of cardboard into a cone shape, then hot gluing it in place. Now I'm trimming off the bottom so my tree can stand up straight. I have this piece of white felt and first I'm covering the entire cone with it. So I'm hot gluing that all around the cardboard. I'm now taking another sheet of white felt and I'm folding it in half, then cutting slits from the folded edge up to the open part, but not all the way through, leaving a bit at the top. And each of my sections is maybe about 1 inch or so wide. Once all the slits are cut, I'm left with this felt fringe and I'm wrapping that around the bottom of my tree. Now that I can see how much of the felt I need, I'm trimming off the excess and I'll use this for the next layer. Now I'm adding the next layer of the felt loops a little bit higher up on the tree. Here I'm taking another piece of the felt and folding it around my tree to see how big of a piece I need. And I'm doing the same thing as before, cutting those slits starting from the folded edge of the felt up towards the open part, but not going all the way through. I'm continuing to add more layers of my felt loops all the way to the top of the cone, hot gluing them all in place. Now that my final loop layer is on there, I'm hot gluing so the felt comes to a bit of a point on the top of the tree. Today's video is part of the Minis Challenge hosted by Corie from Crafted by Corie. This month's theme is a mix of fall, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, so make sure to click the link to the playlist in my description box and check out all of the videos along with Corie's channel. This DIY is a fuzzy white Christmas tree. I'm folding this piece of cardboard into a cone shape, then hot gluing it together. I got this roll of fuzzy white material from Dollarama, and I'm going to wrap it around the cone to make this fuzzy Christmas tree. I'm starting at the top, then wrapping it around diagonally down the tree, hot gluing as I go, and trimming off the excess. You could add all kinds of embellishments to this if you wanted, like little pearls or beads, or even greenery and berries. I decided just to leave it as is for the snowy white look. This DIY is a 3-dimensional green Christmas tree. I got these foam Christmas trees from Dollar Tree, but if you can't find these, you could always just use green foam and cut them into the shape of trees. I'm putting a line of hot glue down the center of my tree, then I'm adding a skewer to it. I'm also cutting off this little bottom section of all the trees. Next, I'm adding hot glue to the right section of my first tree, then putting another one of the foam trees on top and gluing it to that right side. I'm folding the second tree over to the right, then adding more hot glue on the right side again and adding another tree on top. I believe I used 5 trees total for this project. For the base of this DIY, I'm using one of these wood slices from Dollar Tree. And first I'm trimming my skewer down a little bit using scissors, then breaking it off. And now I'm hot gluing my skewer to the wood base. This DIY is a Christmas tree made with a bunch of different Christmas ribbons. To make the base of the tree, I'm rolling a cardboard box into a cone shape, then hot gluing it together. For this DIY, I'll be using these 3 Christmas ribbons from Dollar Tree. I'm measuring out sections of ribbon that are 3.5 inches long each. I'm adding a dot of hot glue to the top of one of the ribbon pieces, then folding it up to make a loop with the ribbon. Then I'm adding hot glue to the cone and sticking the ribbon loop onto the cone. And I'm alternating all the different ribbon patterns all around the tree, starting with the bottom layer. And I'm continuing this same pattern and process all the way up to the top of the tree. For the tree topper, I'm going to make a little bow using the ribbon pieces. I'm taking one of the snowflake ribbons and one of the candy cane style ribbons and making a loop out of each of them, then hot gluing them together. And then with the red ribbon, I'm using that as the tails of the bow. This DIY is a yarn Christmas tree decorated with pretty pearls. I got these 2 styrofoam cones from Dollar Tree, and then I have this yarn I got from Michael's, along with these pearl beads, also from the dollar store. To start off, I'm hot gluing all around the bottom of the cone and then attaching the yarn. And I'm continuing all around the cone, hot gluing as I go. I started off being pretty careful where I was putting the yarn as I was going around the cone, but then as time went on, I was a little less careful with it, which is totally okay because you can go back and add more layers of yarn over top of any of the blank spaces. And that's what I'm doing here, is just going over where I think I need to add more yarn and hot gluing it in place. Once I thought there was enough of this gray yarn on the cone, I took this lighter cream colored yarn and wove it around in sort of a diagonal pattern just to add a little more interest to the tree. And now I'm hot gluing these different sized pearls onto the tree. For the smaller cone, I'm taking the cream colored yarn and wrapping it all around and hot gluing it in place. And then I'll also be adding the same pearl beads onto the cone. This DIY is a white foam Christmas tree. I drew the shape of a leaf onto this piece of cardboard, and now I'm cutting it out and I'll use it as a template for all of my foam leaves. At first I thought I'd try to cut multiple leaves at once, so I'm folding the foam in half and then trying to cut around the cardboard leaf. But I didn't really like the way this was working. I found it kind of left these jagged edges. So instead what I did was traced this cardboard leaf all over the piece of foam, and then I cut out each individual leaf. This is definitely time consuming, but it's pretty easy to do. So just put on a TV show or a podcast and get tracing and cutting. I cut an entire sheet of foam into all the little leaves, and I ended up using almost all of them, although I did have a few left over. And now it's time to glue them all in place. For the bottom row, I left part of the leaf hanging down past the edge of the cone a little bit, and I'm gluing them all in a row beside each other. For all the subsequent rows, I'm layering the leaves on top of each other to give a nice 3D effect. Once I got to the top of the tree, I just arranged the leaves so they came to sort of a point at the top. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments which of these mini Christmas trees was your favorite, and I'll see you next time.